Yes, we are live. Over. Wait. Yeah, wait. Mess up. No one here yet?
Fuego, hello.
Hey Fuego, hello, happy new year. To learn all new IoT updates. Get some XP. Hey, Gambit's here too. Nice. Okay, send like a notification here. Monster, Trespass is here. Happy New Year, everyone. Let's guess, like kind of the very first roundtable of the year, which is general. Yes, Gambit. I think I already memorized barely K Gambit. So the 19 roundtable in general, the first one of 2023. The year in which we are going to be releasing Icons of Theia to the world, which is super exciting. Rygan's here, Happy New Year to the thing I don't know Joseph gonna control, but we're gonna give as usual 25,000 Discord XP to all the participants. So make sure Joseph responds to ask for the the Discord username so you can grant them the XP. I think this one, to start things off, again, Happy New Year, everyone. We'll had, a nice, I say, New Year's Eve, a nice, Christmas break. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's been a little bit. When was the last time we did a roundtable? It was like a week before.
Before,
Feels like it's been
1 week
a
before.
while, but I'm
Yeah.
excited to be back. I'm definitely well rested. Had a good holidays here.
Yeah, likewise, same year. I have been kind of, doing this same year, being quite busy since I started, working again this week. But, it was, very, very, welcome break. I actually just sorry, I just need to do some lines here. I actually doing at the same time I was doing some voice lines for new icons. Actually spent most of my day actually doing that. And actually I have been doing here I just finished doing the voice lines for Sir Gavel, which is it looked pretty good. Sir Gavel, as they are very villainistic character. So it looks very dark, the lines that Sergey is gonna be talking. So I'm very excited to show the ones to you once they're ready. But yeah, I think it's a very busy year. We we have a bunch of things to do before the next open beta, closed beta, which is taking place, in the first quarter of the year. And then we're gonna be leading to a Q2 release of the game in Southeast Asia, pretty much as an open beta that anyone in Southeast Asia is gonna be able to download Icons of Theia on their Android or iOS, which is extremely exciting because we're gonna for the first time officially open on the app stores the doors to our game, which is still is gonna be a testing stage. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that we're gonna be testing around during the open beta. There's still a bunch of features that we're gonna be implementing throughout the open beta as well, leading then to early Q3 global release of Icons of Theia. That's gonna include a bunch of new stuff, a lot of stuff that we didn't. Oh yeah, yeah, it's just wanted to check the form there. There's a lot of stuff that we didn't even announce to you guys as well because it's still just a lot of things. But we have been working I just checked a spreadsheet of stuff that we have been working on for the closed beta ranging from the new maps, from the new user onboarding experience, the new interactive tutorial mode, which was the oh yes, I think there's something with the form going on there. Maybe people can you can input in the form. Okay, take a look at the form there. I think there's a small problem in the form. Like new tutorial mode, like that was like the biggest feedback that we got from the first of the beta, that like we definitely needed like a better onboarding experience. It felt a little confusing, felt like everything wasn't like super clear. So also doing that, and then like a bunch of different stuff, like the voice as well. We have like a bunch of new voices ready. Actually, I received like last 2 days like the voices for Azraf, Selena, and Michelle. So let's see, I can organize and I can actually download, and let's see if I can show them to you a little bit, a small preview. I need to see how I can make it run here, but I can try. Hey Afo, how are you doing? Hope you had like a nice break as well. Actually, let me do that. Actually, I can actually download the voices later, and then I can show it to you all. Uh, or I should like during the next one. But yeah, we don't have like a journal this week, so the schedule here is that we're gonna have a journal next week, and we're also gonna have another roundtable next Thursday as well. So we keep like kind of like releasing journals on Thursdays, and then like right after a new journal is out, we're gonna be releasing kind of like having a roundtable, going through the journal, and taking from there, and having every 2 weeks, kind of like the schedule, for the roundtables for the journals. But yeah, like there's a bunch of stuff like planned for the year. It's gonna be a very busy one, and I think the game that a lot of you mentioned to play in November, it's gonna be like a massively different one for the next closed beta already, and also like for the release. Like, I think like you can also say that we like from what you have been checking like on the internal channels, what like on the art designs, like things are gonna be looking extremely different, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely, and it's always just so fun to see the little updates from from the internal end, but especially like to see people kind of respond to those updates. So I'm excited to see people kind of get back in the game and hear what they think about that. Like even from the onboarding experience, I feel like people are gonna that's gonna be a huge update for people and hopefully improve the experience a little bit.
Yeah, regarding the leaks, I think I'm not gonna leak any voices today. I apologize. I need to organize the voice that I received. I might actually let me check here. I think we're gonna lose the video, so I apologize for that. Cause I need to. Or one second. Let me open my other screen. Then I think that make it work. I can actually try to make something happen here. Um, let's. I think the one that for Selena is more organized, right? Let me. Okay. Let's play some Selena voices, and I have like a one more leak that I want to show, kind of like our image leak, and then we can take it from there, shall we? But yeah, there's a lot of like cool stuff like I've been working on. I think the voice like is something. Is just kind of like one of the examples, but is one of the many like and there are like so many different things like the the whole like the menu, the main menu, right, like that we currently had is gonna be absolutely super different. The in-game UI, UAD, everything's gonna be like absolutely massive. But yeah, everyone, like I think this one like today is gonna be a little short. It's just more like saying Happy New Year, RCL as well, Happy New Year to you, and Ikat as well here, Happy New Year to you too. It's more like just starting the year off, and as we left last year, and if you have any questions, anything like to talk about today, we can kind of go through and then take it from there. But let me go actually through the get the Selena voices. Can I download them? And let me download them. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me see. The thing is, like the only problem that I have is that I can't stream properly things, so it's a little messy. Selena voice. So let me go for something here. Give me 1 second as I set things up here. 1 second, I need to set up the screen here. Oopsie, wrong one. Let me cancel this one here. I need to do some things, but you can hear my voice. Let me wait. I need to open this one. I was having like some problem with my PC today. Like I realized that I have too much, not enough like this.
Do you like
Okay, this space, but I think no, not this one. present was window or was it? I think these right. It comes with the voice. Then I forgot about it. Yeah, I think I need to stream the whole screen, right? So it can come with the voice, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me turn back the image here, and then change the overlay. Yes. Okay, I think you can probably hopefully listen to stuff here. I gotta like Okay, let me know if you can if you can listen, people. Yeah, I stream my whole screen as you can see here. Uh, yeah, let's go for it.
Do you like poetry as well? Let's achieve feats worthy of a ballad. Clan Crimson will fight by your side.
Yeah, let me put a little bit here.
The rhymes, they give me strength.
One more.
Full. For Clan Crimson, for the houseful.
Okay, I think that's enough for today. Yeah, I think you managed to listen, right? Hopefully, I didn't check on the chat actually. Wait.
I think I couldn't hear on my end, but when I went to the stream, I
Yeah,
could hear it.
okay. People can. Okay, that's great.
Good.
Great to see that everyone managed to get the taste of Selena's voice. Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's like an oldest, like as a woman in her 50s, and like with like a deeper Scottish accent, like to reflect, like I wanted to it's a very fun thing, like playing with the accents. Um, how you select the accents for each icon actually is very complex task. I think we want to give here a feeling like of different like regional variation. It's like a witch give you a poisonous apple. She should sound older, but I think like some of her other voices, like I think the examples I gave, she sounds a little kind of like older, but when she's using her ability, she sounds like more youthful, more energetic. But Selena is pretty cool. She's not like a witch. She's just like she's a pretty badass warrior. But her voice should sound like as a more mature woman as well. Misha's voice actually is pretty cool. Actually, like as an older gentleman, like it's pretty cool. So we're going for different accents, like so Selena, like the house in general, we like aiming for like the Scottish or Northern European approach. So like I think like technically house is more Viking oriented, but the thing with high Viking accent, like Northern European accent in English is not like the prettiest sounding of them all. So I might go like a little more like a Scottish variation instead, or like or North, trying to go maybe Icelandic as well. But I think like Scottish might sound the household well in that regard. Bainbridge is very clear, like very clear British English. But even within Bainbridge faction, there's like different kind of like society levels. Let's say someone like Florence, for example, or Sir Gavin, they come from like the nobility, from the ruling class. So they speak like this more posh English, like this noble English. And then if we have like future icons that comes from like more the lower working class stratus, they speak like this Cockney English that the like people in the streets in London might speak, for example. And then if we go like to Adria, we have like a more like the Mediterranean accent, and so Michel has like this Italian accent touch. In very obvious, like of course, like in Khufu, more the Arabian, more the kind of like the Egyptian touch, as you can notice that on Aquila already, but you're gonna be also notice that on Azraf, that's also gonna be announced very soon. And so on. I think the most challenging one so far, however, has been Digyu. For the sense that Digyu is a very, very happy New Year, Septux. Happy to have you here too. Um, the most challenging one has been definitely Digyu because it's like a huge empire, very different cultures, and especially like it's formed by four main clans that form Digyu, and they are spread across a huge landmass. So it's a big challenge. Like okay, how can we show these different accents, different cultures inside of the same huge empire? Digyu is very like Eastern Asian oriented. Uh, so I kind of like decided, okay, like characters who come from the capital, they should sound clear, like with a clear English accent to show that yes, Vitalis has a voiceover actually. It sounds pretty cool. Vitalis has some short lines and sounds very cool. You're gonna like Vitalis too. Vitalis actually is underway as well. I hope to have until the end of the week, so I can definitely show a little bit during the next roundtable perhaps. So icons from Digio, the ones that live in the capital city, they're gonna have like a clear English accent, kind of like to show is the standardized accent from the capital regions from Digio. But then depending from the regions that you come, then we're gonna have standardized accents. So we're gonna have it's because it's very Eastern Asian inspired. I think the idea is that we have 4 houses of Digio, and someone offered promotion here. No, very kindly fuck off. Yeah, people find it so annoying. Is there any way you can ban here transparency? That's so annoying. It's kind of pollutes the channel. But yeah, I never saw this actually. People are kind of how did people find about it even actually?
I've never even seen this on other streams, to be honest.
No, transparent. It's don't even try to reply. This is just a spamming bullshit. Just literally just ban right away. Not even don't even need to give the luxury of replying. Literally just say It's a good sign that people can find it though. Yeah, fuck. That's a good sign. Exactly. It's a great sign that people are finding it, but not in the wrong way. So yeah, not even give the luxury to reply. Just ban and push it. Yes, what was his name? The guy who destroyed us during the Istanbul guy. Ah shit. Serapi missed it. Someone came here and spamming stuff. I forgot the name. I can. It's fine. No worries. Stevia. I remember the guy Stevia. Who come to the Istanbul guy stream and just completely abuse the game. It was very fun. So
that's funny.
I know here was someone post a link to just service promotion chat bots the price lower than any compare. That's pretty much they think that we need activity in our stuff. Yeah, it's just someone offering services here. Yeah, not interested. But yeah, the Stevia one was legendary. But hello Tarot, happy new year to you too. No, it's someone else here. I think Fuego just reminded that someone just randomly found our stream when we're doing the Istanbul guys. It's just people are randomly find the stream that I think yeah, exactly. I was actually Lord of the Rings is a pretty good comparison because it's very, I think more than mentioned, it's more a classic European word, especially kind of very almost let's say English pretty much standard British English for most. And then we had the dwarves who speak a rougher version, standard dwarves, which can be Scottish or can be kind of this a heavy accent, and then elf not this refined, very posh English, and then we have Rowan and kind of especially Rowan speaks a very kind of more kind of common class English, let's say. So it's more kind of very European style there for sure. But I think the word of and the word of Theia, it's much more multicultural. So Edgar has been Digio has been a challenge for me. So I think we have 4 clans. So one clan it's gonna be heavily Korean inspired. Another one the one that Tomo originally comes from, but she's hadn't lived in there for a long time, so her English is very clear, as you can see from her accent. So Tomo has no accent at all, just very plain American English, because she has been living in the capital for so many years. So that's the indication I want to give. But if people who living in her clan for a long time, they're gonna have a very clear Japanese accent. And then for another clan, more Chinese Mandarin style, so Beijing, Shanghai regions. And the other clan, the one that Coles comes from, and that's why I'm talking to this, because I was actually writing Coles lines today, and I spent literally 3 hours trying to find a good accent for Coles. and I kind of did was a lot of work to kind of trying to find the perfect one for his region and for calls. And kind of at the end, I became a mix of Himalaya and Cantonese accent. I think for several reasons it calls better. So yeah, it was a lot of work. Like let's say Khufu is easy, or Bainbridge, is much simpler. But big empires, much more trickier. Vijaya is also very tricky. Um, so Vijaya is quite tricky. Although Silang very clear is gonna have a very and Silang I actually gonna start next week, but I want hopefully a Filipino voice actress for Silang with a very heavy Filipino accent to indicate her background. So if you have any very good voice actors there, you can send them my way. But yeah, I'm working with amazing actors here that kind of have been an amazing job, and yeah, can't wait to find. But yeah, that was my TED talk on game accents. It's very fascinating. It's much harder than I thought actually, but yeah, and then I think we all agree that it gives this degree of legitimacy to the game, and it's it feels more alive, and then we want to give the feeling, the icons of their personality, of their backgrounds, of what they're thinking, feeling, and that makes you more connected to not only the icons but the lore and word of Theia. Yeah, I like talking about that, as you might think about it. Yeah, Will, what are your thoughts? I think, sorry, I have been talking and talking.
Oh no, yeah, no. I think that yeah, I definitely agree. Like it adds more layers as well to our icons, and I think it's cool that even here, I don't know who said it exactly, but as soon as you play voices, sometimes we're immediately like, okay, yep, that was, that was exactly what I expected Selena to sound like, or
Exactly.
so and so. So we already have ideas of how the icons should sound, how the icons and how they interact in our world. So to see them come to light, I think is fun. And I can't imagine how mad you go with sometimes with how many different voices that you you have to listen to before coming to a finalized
Yeah,
one.
it's so the way we do that for the application. So for everyone who wants to have an idea, we use a voice actor freelancing website to go through. So I make the applications there. And then I make a description of the icon, kind of how I want the voice to sound like, and then I do kind of some of the sample lines. I already have written the lines I already written, and I get now a couple of examples, and then I say okay how the actor should talk the lines, speak the lines, and then plus a picture of the icon so they can at least see the character, and then I give 4 or 5 days. Uh, we give 4 or 5 days. Yeah, we don't have any announcer for now. That's something I want to actually study, at least a victory defeat voices, and pretty much this basic stuff at the start. But we might have an announcer, but Tia doesn't IoT. I think as a game might not need an announcer for the time being. But I because you can see the whole action happening, League for example, often you can see first blood happening because it's in some other lane, but it's something to be considered too. I think I already had an ideas. Uh, but and then I posted postings, and I left them open 4 or 5 days, and for several icons I have over 40, 50 applications from different actors who reading the same lines, and I need to kind of listen to these 50 applications and kind of okay, this one no, not this one is no, I just cut it off, and then this one okay, this potential, and then kind of the ones with potential I shortlisted to a second round, and then I listen to the 50 voice again, and then from the 50 I normally shortlist between 5 to 7, and then I listen to this 5 or 7 again, and then and that's several times, and then I shortlist it one more time, and then it's normally down to 2 or maximum 3, and then I listen one more time, and then I come to the final decision. It's a process that takes several hours. And then normally I send you normally, and then at the end I don't not completely sure. Sometimes I just send you the team to okay, can you guys which one is the best here? What do you prefer and why? But it's a pretty long process. It's a fun one, but listening to 50 voices, it's a lot of work. And now times 15. because 15 icons, 14 icons plus Vitalis. So I listen to like literally hundreds of voices. So my ears are bleeding.
You're gonna hear voices in his head forever now.
Um, yeah, I Fuego. I give 3 lines. I give like one icon selection line, one ability line, and one Q blow line for the actors to sample. So I think one wouldn't be fair because so that's why we work with 3 lines. So I give 3 lines and they read in the application, let's say 3 lines, and then based on the 3 lines, and different, and normally I aim to go for different voice tones, from different styles, within the same character, the same icon, and then based on that I can, okay, this one I think it suits better than the other one and so on. Yeah, it's a long process, but it's very fun, doing the voices, and I can't wait to see all the voices implemented in the game. Right now we have Tomo, and I think the next build we're gonna have Burble, Aquila, Jacko, and Burble, Aquila, Jacko. Which one? The other one we did, and Florence. So we're gonna have like 5 fully ones in the games very soon. So, and then the other ones are following very fast. Yeah, that's about voices. It's a very fascinating but time consuming thing. I have another thing I want to show to you all here. Here. That's like the next, let's say, the next leak of the day. Wait, it's not showing properly. I just like leaving this be here. I'm not gonna tell what this is for, but it looks pretty cool, right? Like, what you guys might think this is about. I'm very curious to know like what you can think this is actually.
Looks like a good tattoo.
It's not really tattoos. No, not okay. Not tattoos. Let me cut them. They're not tattoos. Oh yeah, the phoenix. Yes, that's correct. There's a phoenix here. That's correct. This one is not a flying. No, it's not a flying. It's like a. It's not. The Fashion Wars is a very good guess. It's not, however. Is this more like like I think it's Sphinx? This like a dragon, and this like a turtle, and then there gonna be a couple of others. I can give like a hint, I can say one word maybe, constellation. So this will be called constellations. And let's say that is related to icon progression in the game. So I don't know. There's maybe other games that you're familiar, but they have some maybe mechanics. And Fuego kind of okay. Yeah, okay. Fuego got it. Yeah, it's a sort of like a skill tree system. Let's say we call the constellation system. That you earn a new icon, let's say currency, which will be similar to XP in the game, but XP you earn level. There's gonna be a second one that you earn after games that is used to unlock, let's say, stars within a constellation. So, and then you can assume the rest. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to get that officially announced soon. It's gonna be something that serves kind of as an extra progression mechanic for icons, and then you can further customize your icon the way you want. So there are gonna be several ways to play the same icon or to customize the same icon. So let's say your Tomo might have different utilities depending on the constellations you're using. Just give a very sneak preview of something that we are very excited about. I think giving players the ability to customize their icons is something that we always wanted. Right now on the first close beta, progression has been very linear. That means you earn your levels and then you plus one. Yes, respect coughs. Yes, that's what actually we taught already. I think that the idea is that every time we have a balance patches, we offer one respect for free. that might change and then every balance patch that changes their numbers, let's say. We offer respect for free, but and then other respects over time would cost some of the game currency, let's say. That's the idea. It serves as well as a currency sink at the same time, right? It's a way to keep a healthy economy while giving players a very fun system in which they can fully customize the icons and how they want to play the game. So my Tomo might be very different from Will's Tomo, for example. Even if we are playing against each other with the Tomo in the same level, let's say, but my Tomo might have a very different job in the game than Will's Tomo, for example. Yeah, Will, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I really like the progression system. I feel like it's really gonna give you a way to make like your icon, if that makes sense. Like exactly like I could have Tomo but I could play Tomo completely different than the way that maybe you play Tomo because of the way the progression system has, been designed. So I'm excited to see that. And I thought I just can't get up. I think these all actually would work really good as tattoos. I would love to see one day maybe someone get it, an
Hey,
icon tattoo.
hey, uh let's kind of start those selling those as well. That would be a good one actually for times. It's a good way to stop copycats and also like Hearthstone and card games where one deck gets duplicated like crazy. About that, Fuego, we have some very good ideas how to, let's say, make people try different things in the game. We don't want you to just have four icons and just play these four icons over and over and over and over again. Let's say that gets boring. And imagine if players figure out a very clear meta. Let's say there's a meta, and we're gonna see players with four icons face the same four icons all the time. That's then boring, right? So let's say that we have something at work that will directly fight against that. So let's say that we are working to make every game, not only every icon to be unique in their own way, but also every game to be unique in their way. That the game I play right now is is different than the one that we're gonna play next. There are different things happening that would force me to employ a different tactic, and I'm not talking only about a different map. I'm employing about other stuff that makes the game experience a little different, let's say. But I definitely not spoiling this one right now. I think we are still kind of on the designing part, but that would be something. Yeah, the thing is so we don't want to punish people by using the same icons. They can, but we want to kind of yeah, I think punishment you can say punishment regarding the gameplay, right? Because if you let's say if we offer some ways to make force them to, let's say people should be able to use the icons they want, but the idea is that, yeah, I wouldn't say stat reduction punishment game stats, but I think the punishment would be kind of because the games are different, using the same icons in one situation would just be very bad. So let's say even if you have your favorite team of four icons, use in a certain match, there's certain effects in that match happening that causes using that particular thing that you always use is very bad, let's say, and you're gonna definitely lose. So you need to think out of the box and go somewhere different. So you can just just keep copying and spamming the same meta build, let's say. That I find very boring, and that is not very smart. What is a field effect? Actually, that's a might be similar to what actually we have been thinking. Yeah, I think I know what you mean actually about field effects. Kind of yeah, I think we know what I mean by field effects. I'm pretty sure that is what I think it is. Um, and if that's kind of what it is, I'm pretty much sure that's something we have been considering and designing as well. I think we all want every game to feel different. I think for and that's something like I've even mentioned internally, but I have been quite having a fun like playing like the card like the Marvel Snap game. It's a pretty good game, pretty decent like gameplay wise. And every game feels very different. Yeah, it's pretty much like AR, so it's something similar. We are kind of like also designing, actually, kind of like want to have something similar eventually. But Marvel Snap's a pretty fun game because like every game feels very different from one another. So the game you play now is very different from the follow up game and so on. So it's very unpredictable, what you expect from each game. And that's what we're gonna do with IoT as well. The games are short, so you can play like 10 games per hour, but we don't want you to play the 10 games that feel exactly the same. That's just boring. That's just like what do you think? Like just you gotta get tired of that eventually.
We don't want that. We don't want every experience to just feel exactly the same. And we also don't want to directly, punish you and punish other players for playing the icons that they like. So I think like, creating a way that it kind of encourages or in a way kind of forces your hand to switch things up. Um, because icons are going to be better in certain situations
Yeah.
based off X amount. So I think, yeah, I think it's definitely a good way to encourage people to play different gameplay styles without directly forcing them to.
Precisely. And yeah, so different game modes is they are something that we are definitely like have some pretty cool ideas already. I can't promise when we're gonna implement those. It's a lot of work, but give you like there are our core experience is PvP and aiming like a competitive PvP, but we want to release like core PvE experience as well, and that can come like and because like and I think something that you guys can assume like we love the world of Theia, the lore, the characters, and we want to tell stories, what's happening through the game. So I think it's very obvious to assume that we will have uh, a story mode, aka like a PV campaign mode, where like it's a story mode that like you follow a story, like you play different levels, like and then from other like tactical RPGs might be like very similar, but we want to tell stories, what's going on in Theia. We want you to feel very emotionally connected to the characters, to the icons, to everything that's going on, and I think the best way to tell that in a tactical RPG is through a story mode. So that's I think something like it's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when, because we really want to make one eventually. Uh, Past games unlock characters, but this time we get some reward for. Yeah, there's gonna be like a lot of ideas on that. Yeah, I think we still need to design like flush it out better, but I think like it's a matter that we want to design like a story mode. Let's say certain levels. Let's say this story like tells like the story of Tomo doing something, and then like it's 20 levels that you explore like the story exactly. Yeah, like complete Florence stories give a material. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea actually. If you have like a Florence based model, you complete that one and you get like something that helps making your Florence in the PvP mode stronger, connecting PV to PvP, right? I think that's what you meant, which is actually a pretty good idea.
I
So
like that.
we like that one idea actually. That's something that we can easily implement it actually eventually. It's just like a matter of having the mode, but it's something that again we want to have. And that's hopefully like something like by the general release, the global release in Q3, we can show you some form of that. But over time, we're gonna definitely keep spending and keep like releasing more fun game modes. Yeah, with that put out, I think that's everything that I want to show today to you all. I think like kind of like the voices, kind of like the progression stuff, like the wrong overlay. Um, Yeah, a lot of stories, like, it's because you don't feel very connected to the characters since the start. That's why we are giving, like, we are starting, like, making you build this connection to our icons. And I hopefully, like, when the time comes, like, you're gonna feel that, you wanna check more about the story and learn what's going on, not on just skip, and get the prizes. We want players to enjoy at least. I know that a lot of people are just gonna skip the mode. It's fine, but if there's like some players that are breathing and excited about what's happening, I think that's a big win already. Yeah, I think there's a lot of talking about mode, like talking modes here, and sorry, like I talk about voices, talk about like all the progression, game modes. Yeah, anything else that anyone like wants to bring it up today? Otherwise, will any final point for today? Easter eggs, yes, there are Easter eggs already in the voice line, so you pay attention to the voice lines. They are filled with Easter eggs already, so don't worry about it. So that's like
And,
actually one of the goals to make the voice lines. Put some Easter eggs there. Stay tuned.
and speaking of voices too, definitely would stay tuned to our TikTok account. We're gonna be showing off some more voices over there as well. So
Yes, for the ones who don't know, I'm pretty sure you all know, but here, TikTok, Icons of Theia, follow up, like everything. Um, there are always like some pretty cool stuff going on there. So make sure to stay tuned. Yeah, learn master will that'll be yeah, that's for sure.
a lot of lore to study too.
A lot of lore story too. YouTube, yeah, we try both, but actually TikTok's like is a little more successful. Although yeah, will I think that's a fair point. We can just like upload them both. I think something that we
Yeah,
have on TikTok we can get on YouTube easily, right? I think that's a
yeah,
fair
definitely.
point. I think we need to consider like that not everyone has TikTok. So yeah, let's get on both, and then
Yeah, either
definitely taking
one.
them.
We'll definitely get those uploaded on our YouTube
A
channel too.
challenge today.
YouTube Shorts is YouTube Shorts is pretty cool, honestly too.
Yeah, that can actually help generate. Okay. So yeah, I think we can wrap this one up, everyone. Hope you had a good time today. Yeah, I think like this one a little shorter than normal, but more like talking, kind of like about like future plans. Next week we're gonna go back to the normal schedule with the TN journal as well, like the breakdown of the journal and more like an in-depth conversation. Me and Will we might jump in like in a game. I hope we have some of the voices implemented in the game by next week. That means like we can jump in a game and we can show some of the little voices in real time. There will be definitely more leaks next week coming up. There's especially some design leaks. There's a pretty cool looking main menu page that we are designing right now. Right, Will? That one looks dope, right?
Yeah, no, I
With
love
that
that one
one with
too.
the icons
I need
there,
to see
right?
it.
I think
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that one.
Posted. Yeah, yeah,
That we posted like recently, right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That one I
yeah.
can't
No,
wait
no.
to show. Like and there's so many like kind of like it feels the game like it's so different from like the one that people play in November already. We have new icon animations here. Actually, I forgot about that. We have like Peter animations are ready. We have Aegir animations ready as well. Then we have a lot of stuff. Hey, you know what? I'm again in a good mood today. So I think like you like it. So tell one, Peter or Aegir for the ability animation, and I shot you before I leave. So whoever says first, Peter or Aegir. Which one you want?
Who's gonna make the decision?
Who's gonna make the decision? Literally, the first one who writes one of these names, I'm gonna show the animation, the ability animation. Peter. Okay,
Peter.
I forgot Peter. Okay, let me see this one.
That's a good choice.
Peter is always a good choice. Okay, let me get. I think I got this one here. How can I open in a new window? And then I can stream the new window. Wow, it's so fancy. Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, then we can. Okay, I think I got it. Peter Parker. No. So 1 second, 1 second, Peter, and here we have our Peter. So, okay, change overlays again. Here, I think you should be able to see that, right? So here, like, notice that is he like, of course, he's attacking another Peter, so ignore that. But you can see Peter using his animation as his ability plus the VFX effects here. You can see here. His ability is called like a Liquid Courage, so it's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite ability names in the game for sure. But yeah, you're like how to and there are gonna be kind of some sound effects as well. They're like the videos themselves, of course, are gonna have sound effects. Not only the icons are gonna have voices, but there will be some sound effects and yeah, and that's something very very exciting. Yeah, Peter is a party guy, first and foremost. So he's making big. It's not real fireworks. It's more like kind of party it's party stuff. Let's say it's party confetti. I thought when I saw that I didn't see fireworks. I thought it's more like a party confetti stuff. That you
Yeah,
throw in a
like
party.
those tubes you get and you
Yeah.
blast off and scare everyone.
And no, it's not sparkling wine. It's actually real wine. Actually, it's strong wine. He's a party boy, or Peter. Makes party, drinking some good wine. A refined person, expensive wine probably. These French fancy wines, probably those. So yeah, this is kind of last small leak of the day. I hope have the other animations. I'm gonna probably display some of them in the next week's journal. So stay tuned for the journal show. But hey everyone, thank you for joining the first roundtable of the year. Yeah, that's I think everything from us, right, Will?
Yeah, I would stay tuned. We have this year is gonna go. There's gonna be a lot this year, so I'm excited. I'm excited for next roundtable already because I'm seeing some. Yeah, I'm seeing some things that we have in our chat that can't wait to see what everyone thinks.
Likewise. Then yeah, thank you everyone. Have a great night. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.